High up in the Himalayan mountains of Nepal, there's a group of people called the Tamang. They live in a beautiful place with tall peaks and green valleys. The Tamang have a special culture and way of life that has been around for a very long time. They live close to Tibet, and you can see their connection to Tibet in their language, traditions, and what they believe in. In this video, we're going to learn about something very interesting about the Tamang culture, fraternal polyandry. The Tamang have lived in the Himalayas for many, many years, and they know how to survive in this tough environment. Their lives are connected to the land, and their customs show that they understand how important it is to keep nature and humans in balance. One of these customs is polyandry, where a woman marries several brothers. This custom is something that has fascinated many people who study cultures. In this video, we'll explore why they have this practice and what it means for their culture, their economy, and their society. We'll learn about the role of women in Tamang society, how polyandrous families work, and the challenges they face as the world modernizes. Finally, we'll see how the Tamang people are adapting to a changing world while trying to keep their unique culture alive. Fraternal polyandry, where a woman marries a group of brothers, is something you don't see very often. It's practiced by a few cultures around the world, and it's been a big part of the Tamang way of life for a long time. While it might seem strange to some, it actually makes a lot of sense when you think about where and how they live. First, polyandry helps the Tamang deal with the problem of not having enough land. In the mountains, there's not a lot of flat land for farming. If each brother married a different woman and had to divide the family land, it would get smaller and smaller with each generation. But with polyandry, the land stays together, which is really important for their survival. This also means the brothers have to work together instead of competing with each other. They all share the responsibility of taking care of their family and their land. This creates a strong sense of unity, which is really important when you live in a place where you depend on each other to survive. Polyandry also helps to control the population. With fewer women having children, the population doesn't grow too quickly. This helps to make sure there are enough resources for everyone. Fraternal polyandry in Tamang society makes a lot of sense when you think about their economy and how they farm. As we talked about before, there's not a lot of land available for farming in the mountains. If they divided the land every generation, it would be hard to grow enough food. Polyandry solves this problem by keeping the land together under one family. When brothers share a wife, they also share the work of farming the land and taking care of the family's resources. This teamwork makes them more efficient and allows them to grow more food, which is good for their economic well-being. Having multiple husbands also means there are more people to do the work. Some brothers can work on the farm, while others can do other jobs like trading, taking care of animals, or finding work in nearby villages. This variety of jobs means they have a more stable income and are less likely to suffer if something happens to their crops or the market changes. Sharing the responsibility of raising children also helps polyandrous families financially. With multiple fathers, the cost of raising and educating children is divided, which makes things a little easier. Women have a very special and important place in Tamang society, especially when it comes to polyandry. Some people might think that this practice makes women less important, but that's not true at all. Tamang women are actually very powerful within their families and communities. Just because a woman marries into a family with many husbands doesn't mean she loses her voice or her independence. In fact, women often have a say in who they marry and make important decisions within the family. Their opinions are respected and they are valued for everything they do for their families. Polyandry can also provide women with a sense of security. With multiple husbands working to support the family, women have a safety net if one husband gets sick, passes away, or can't work. This shared responsibility creates a more stable environment for raising children and managing the family's resources. It's important to remember that every family is different, and the dynamics within polyandrous families can vary depending on personalities, relationships, and other factors. One of the most amazing things about fraternal polyandry among the Tamang is how much they value harmony and stability within the family. The idea of sharing a spouse might seem strange or even difficult to some, but the Tamang have created social customs and cultural norms that encourage cooperation and minimize conflict. From a young age, children grow up understanding and accepting polyandry as a normal part of their culture. The idea of having multiple fathers is natural to them, and they often love and respect all of their fathers equally. The wife also plays a vital role in keeping the family united and balanced. She takes care of the household, helps to resolve any arguments, and makes sure that all of her husbands feel loved and respected. Open communication and a willingness to compromise are key to maintaining harmony in polyandrous families. While disagreements are normal in any family, the Tamang believe in resolving conflicts peacefully and keeping the family together. Besides the unique practice of polyandry, the Tamang people have a rich and lively culture that they express through music, dance, festivals, and their deep spiritual beliefs. Their art gives us a glimpse into their history, beliefs, and their close relationship with nature. Tamang music, called Tamang Selo, is known for its soulful melodies, often played on instruments like the dampu, a kind of drum, and the madal, a small hand drum. These songs tell stories of love, sadness, nature, and everyday life in the Himalayas. Dancing is a big part of Tamang celebrations and rituals. They often dance in groups, and their dances are full of energy and color. They wear bright costumes and move their feet in intricate patterns. These dances often tell stories from their mythology or celebrate important times in the farming year. Festivals like Losar, the Tamang New Year, are times of great joy and togetherness. Families and friends come together to celebrate, eat, and participate in traditional rituals. These festivals help to strengthen their cultural identity and the bonds within the community. While the Tamang people have held on to their traditions for centuries, modernization and globalization are changing their way of life. As more people get an education, experience different cultures, and find new job opportunities outside of traditional farming, younger generations are starting to see things differently. One of the biggest changes is that polyandry is becoming less common. Young people are moving to cities for education and jobs, where they see different family structures and ways of getting married. The economic reasons for polyandry, like keeping the land together, aren't as important to those who don't work on farms. Also, ideas about love and marriage are changing. Younger generations are more interested in finding love and choosing their own partners, which is leading to a decline in arranged marriages and polyandry. These changes are not without their difficulties. Even though modernization is challenging their traditions, the Tamang people are incredibly resilient and adaptable. While some traditions, like polyandry, are becoming less common, their core values of community, family, and respect for their heritage remain strong. Many Tamang communities are working hard to preserve their language, music, dance, and traditional knowledge. They are establishing cultural centers and organizations to document and share their unique heritage. There's also a growing awareness among younger generations about the importance of preserving their cultural identity. Many young Tamang people are taking pride in their heritage, learning their traditional language, and participating in cultural events. The Tamang people are showing us that it's possible to adapt to new ways of life while still holding on to what makes their culture special. They are finding ways to balance modern education and jobs with their traditions and passing them down to future generations. The Tamang people of Nepal are a great example of how resilient and adaptable humans can be. Their practice of fraternal polyandry, which was once a practical solution for their environment and economy, is changing as the world modernizes. But their core values of family, community, and respect for their heritage are still very strong. The Tamang people's journey teaches us that cultures can change and evolve while still keeping their essence. As they face the challenges of the 21st century, their commitment to their heritage and their ability to embrace change will continue to shape who they are and ensure that their unique traditions survive for many years to come. Their story inspires us and reminds us that even in a world that's constantly changing, the human spirit, guided by cultural wisdom and a deep connection to our roots, can thrive and flourish.